I'd like to call to order the Oak Ridge Town Council meeting for January 8th, 2026. I would ask that Myra Blackburn come forward for the invocation. Thank you, Myra. And everyone stand if you're able.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for the privilege to meet in peace and safety. As we gather here today for the Town Council meeting, we ask for your guidance and wisdom in all of the discussions and decisions. Grant us the clarity to address the needs of our community with diligence and compassion. Let us ground ourselves in our shared commitment to Oak Ridge. May the council's deliberations be marked by respect for one another and a shared commitment to the common good. Help all who serve, both in official and voluntary capacities, to act with integrity and fairness, always seeking the path that best serves the residents of our town. Inspire everyone to work collaboratively and productively so that the outcomes of this meeting will lead to a stronger, more vibrant community for everyone. In your holy name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. If you'll remain standing and join me in pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And again, thank you, Myra. The next part of the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to
So
approve?
moved.
Second? Is there-
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
The next is the approval of the December 4th minutes.
I move that we approve the December 4th, 2025 minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, our fourth item is resolutions, proclamations, and announcements. And after talking with Mr. Bruce, our proclamations will be part of the manager's report and new business later. So we'll move on. That means that we're at the next item, which is the report from the Guilford County Sheriff's Office, which I know the council has received a modified version since their system is not working. So do we have anybody from the Sheriff's Department? Okay, then we'll move on from there. I do believe we have someone from the Fire Department. Yeah, there we go. And we look forward to hearing your report, sir. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Firefighter La Liberty. We had a total of 90 calls this month. 23 were all other responses, which include smoke scares, lockouts, animal rescues, etc. False alarm responses, we had 10. Fires in brush, grass, and wildland, we had 2. Fires outside of structures with value involved were 1. Other hazardous responses, including arching wires, bomb removal, power line down, etc., we had 2. And then we had 52 EMS responses. We had a total of 39 training hours and a total of 972 calls for the year of 2025. For this month's fire safety tip, I'm just going to read off of here if that's okay. We have, when using space heaters on your fireplace this winter, maintain a clear 3-foot safety zone around all heat sources. Keep furniture, curtains, bedding, and any flammable materials at least 3 feet away. This helps prevent heating-related fires, which are common in January and February. Why this matters in January: heating equipment is a leading cause of home fires during cold months. Keeping flammable items away dramatically reduces the risk. Oak Ridge Fire Department winter safety guidance also stresses safe placement and use of heaters and the importance of working smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. Just some extra quick tips for January: never leave a space heater running when you're asleep or out of the room. test smoke and CO detectors and replace batteries if needed, and have your chimney and heating equipment inspected before heavy use. Staying aware of these simple precautions can help keep your home warm and safe this winter.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.
Sorry?
Thank you.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all have a good
We
evening.
appreciate our firefighters. Okay. So, Sam, it's time for the annual financial audit report, and will you make the introduction, or?
Yes, sir. This is Chad Cook. He is a director with Forbes Missouri. Chad has worked with us for several years, and he is a homeboy. He was raised here in Oak Ridge.
That's right. Yeah, thank you, Sam, and thank you, council members. Again, I'm the lead auditor for the town's account from Forbes Mazars in our Greensboro office, and tonight I'm presenting the results of the town's financial statement audit for the year ended June 30th, 2025. This report covers our audit approach, findings, and required communications at the conclusion of our audit, which is required by professional standards. In addition to the required communications, I've also prepared just a one-page handout that you all should have in front of you, which is financial highlights from fiscal 2025 as compared to 24, and I also have some comments prepared at the end of my presentation as to some of the reasons you may see swings within those figures this year. One other item I'd like to point out is that while the financial statements have been finalized, they've been submitted to the Local Government Commission. They are still subject to their review, so that is in process currently. We do not yet have their final approval of the financial statements. But once we do, I'll also provide hard copies of the financial statements to anyone that wishes to receive a copy. And I'll coordinate that with Sam following their approval. Okay, so jumping into our required communications. First, audit scope and responsibilities. The audit was performed in accordance with auditing standards generally accepted in the United States, as well as government auditing standards. The town did have federal and state expenditures exceeding $100,000 combined. Again, this fiscal year, which is why we had to also perform the audit in accordance with government auditing standards. It's not every year that happens, but because of the grant activity going on the last couple of years, we've had that additional reporting requirement. Our responsibility is to express an opinion on whether the town's financial statements are fairly presented in accordance with accounting standards generally accepted in the United States, which for the town would be the GASB standards. And management and council do remain responsible for the presentation of the financial statements, or excuse me, presentation and oversight of the financial statements. Audit results, the town did receive a clean or unmodified audit opinion again this year. We had no disagreements with management during the audit process. No unusual accounting policies were noted as a result of our audit, and we had no difficulties encountered in completing our audit procedures. As far as significant accounting changes go, there was one new standard effective for fiscal 2025, as GASB statement number 101, which is a change in the way that compensated absences are accounted for. It has had an impact on some municipalities across the state, but due to the limited size of the staff for the town, determined there was no material impact. Essentially what we had to do was determine whether or not we needed to bring on an additional liability for accrued sick time that the town has been carrying. Traditionally, the only liability you'll see in the financial statements is accrued vacation time that is paid out. But under the new standard, you also do have to, at times, record a liability for time that has been earned, even if it's not going to be paid out at termination, if you think that they may use that in the future. So no material impact. We did not have a restatement of beginning balances for that standard, but did have to go through the process of just determining whether or not it had an impact for the town this year. Something else we like to point out, accounting estimates and sensitive disclosures. So certainly there are estimates that are inherent within the financial statements. The significant estimates that we've identified in the audit include the depreciable lives of capital assets, as well as estimates related to pension-related balances, so the local government employees retirement system pension liability that the town carries, which is based on a third-party actuarial valuation that is done through the state, and so the numbers are just kind of passed down to the town from that valuation report. But we do like to point out that it's a sensitive estimate because you'll see in the financial statement footnotes, a 1% change in the discount rate that they use in that valuation could actually double the liability of the town. So it is a significant estimate. Certainly we review their work and make sure that it's in accordance with professional standards, but nonetheless it is an estimate. Internal controls, so in accordance with government auditing standards, the audit included obtaining an understanding of the design and effectiveness of internal controls, although we don't directly provide an opinion over the operating effectiveness of controls. But as part of that process, certain adjustments were required during the audit, all of which are reflected within the financial statements, which collectively were determined to be material. Management's response to this weakness is included in the financial statement report. Other communications, again, we had no significant difficulties were encountered during the audit. We had no consultations with outside accountants or disagreements with management as it relates to the application of accounting policies. All proposed audit adjustments were either recorded or deemed to be immaterial, so there are no uncorrected misstatements that remain that we are aware of. And lastly, there is a management representation letter which was provided at the conclusion of the engagement, which is, it's included as an appendix to our report. And just outlines certain representations that management makes to us at the conclusion of the audit. Lastly, we are required to present to the town council any financial performance indicators of concern, or FPICs, which are determined by the local government commission based on information that's contained within the financial statements. So at the conclusion of the audit, we input the data from the financial statement package into a portal site that the LGC has set up, and it determines whether or not there are any FPICs. This year, the town had just 2 FPICs. One, as I previously mentioned, related to just the material audit adjustments, which is reflected in the report. The second relates to a budgetary violation within the Phase 1 Heritage Farm Capital Project Fund, where expenditures have exceeded the budget by about $79,000 in total. That's a recurring one from last year. And expenditures, it's caused by expenditures that were paid by the Phase 1 Heritage Farm Capital Project Fund that were originally budgeted for in the general fund. So in totality, the project has certainly been fully budgeted for. It's more of a classification issue just in terms of where the expenditures have been incurred versus where they were budgeted. That really concludes all the required communications. So next I was going to run through the financial highlights, but certainly would like to stop if anyone has any questions about just the audit process or anything that I've mentioned so far.
Do we have any questions?
Not me. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so moving on to the financial summary, just real quick, we'll run through highlights for the town at the end of the fiscal year. So Roman numeral 1, you'll see cash and investments across all funds is up about $280,000. It's a little bit deceptive. The increase in cash it's really within the capital project funds for some grant money that's been received. Within the general fund, there's actually been a decrease of about $600,000 in cash year over year from fiscal 24 to 25. General fund, available fund balance is at $2,018,000. It's a roughly $174,000 decrease, or 8% from the prior year. That's largely due to balances that are owed to the general fund from the Phase 1 Capital Project Fund for Heritage Farm Park, as well as the Elevated Water Tank Capital Project Fund. So you'll see there are some receivables within the general fund, offsetting liabilities within those capital project funds, where some cash was used out of the general fund, related to those projects that will need to be reimbursed. Roman numeral 3, general fund revenues and other sources. Ad valorem taxes or property taxes, obviously the largest source of revenue for the town again this year, at $1.27 million versus $1.19. So roughly an $81,000 increase there. The property tax rate did remain flat, but there was an increase in property valuations of approximately $71 million compared to the prior fiscal year, just due to an expanding tax base with new developments coming online. Unrestricted intergovernmental revenues, which includes things like your sales tax revenues, very, very consistent. So it came in about $1,300 off from fiscal 2024 to $1,021,000. Restricted intergovernmental revenues, that's entirely made up of capital project related revenues. So for the current year, that includes about $380,000 for the Farmhouse Community Center, $173,000 for future water projects, and then $70,000 for park security. I think the cameras that were installed, a grant received for those. As far as the rest of the items go, fairly small in terms of permits and fees, a little decreased there, but not a large source of revenue for the town. Miscellaneous revenues, very consistent with the prior year. Moving into expenditures, you'll see overall in Roman numeral 4, this is general fund expenditures and other uses. In total, pretty consistent, about $8,500 difference from the prior year, or 0.3% change. As far as actual, I guess, departmental expenditures. Within general government, there was a $76,000 decrease. It's made up of a few things. There's actually an increase in personnel costs of about $47,000, but that's being offset by a decrease in capital outlays from fiscal 2024 to 25 of about $173,000. So in total, down $76,000. For culture and rec or the park, very consistent, about a 0.7% change year over year. So yeah, just very consistent across operations as well as the capital outlays at the park this year. You will see a new line item for water. That's related to water-related capital projects that are being paid currently out of the general fund. I believe that $82,000 relates to capital outlays for the water tank that were incurred before the separate elevated water tank capital project fund was established. And then the last item there is debt service. The only outstanding debt of the town is the debt related to the town park that's held by Truist. And so there's annual debt service on that of $306,000 for the year. In total, you'll see at Roman numeral 5, the percentage of available fund balance to versus budgetary basis expenditures and other uses is at 69.73%, so a slight decline of about 6% from the prior year. But overall, still very healthy. The average of similar units provided by the local government commission is about 63% within the state of North Carolina. So still above the average, but a slight decline there from the prior year. And then property tax collection percentage, so obviously property taxes are collected by the county and then remitted to the town, but it did remain strong at 99.8% this year versus 99.79% the prior year. The LGC considers collection rates below 97% of budgeted to be a potential performance indicator of concern, so certainly well above that threshold. But that really concludes my presentation, but again, certainly happy to answer any questions now about the financial statement figures or just the audit process in general.
Are there any questions?
No, thank you.
No. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. All right, that brings us to public comments and community organization reports. I'll ask that those that want to address those issues come to the podium, state your name and address, and try to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Or do we have any people? Angie, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon. Good evening. My name is Angie Williams, for those that don't know. I live at 6015 Oak Ridge, Dawn Ridge Trail. I don't even know where I live anymore. As many of you know, I used to work for Orma. I've now changed companies. I did that in December. What I realized was that nobody knows about the company that I work for. Now, it's another nonprofit. It serves Guilford County only. The name of the company is Operation Excel. And it provides free after-school tutoring programs and social emotional learning programs, summer enrichment programs at no cost to the families that we serve. Predominantly, there are 7 sites all over Guilford County itself, including 2 in High Point, but there is one in Stokesdale just by the buy rate. So since it was so close to you guys, I thought I would come and let you guys know a little bit about the organization. It's been in business for 18 years, founded by a lady named Charlene Gladney, and it was a response, she's a pastor's wife, it was a response to the high dropout rate in high school. Like, so many kids were not graduating from high school, particularly in communities that had so low social economic backgrounds. And so she couldn't stand it. She just couldn't stand the fact that these kids were dropping out without giving themselves the opportunity to educate themselves. So she founded this, and it has grown. It has grown from 12 kids and no funding to now we serve over 800 kids in Guilford County, and at 7 different locations, and provide about 130,000 hours of services throughout a year. And also provides a 6-week summer enrichment program absolutely free for the families. It's an all-day thing in order for the children not to slide back. A lot of times over summer break, they'll forget things and they're behind when they start again, particularly if they are educationally challenged or they are facing some kind of struggles or hardship at home. So that's what the the summer enrichment program kind of addresses. I think that's it. I think that's the things I wanted to tell you about it. Do you have any questions or anything I can provide?
Is there a website or a phone number? Or?
There is. I brought some brochures for you guys, just so you have them. Is it all right if I give them to you, Miss Sandra? Okay. It promotes leadership and education here in Guilford County. Mainly because what we want to do is support economic growth in the area. And so often a child is on their road to whether they're going to be in college or trade school or even graduate from high school by the time they're in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. So because we start with kindergarten and help support them to learn, it helps them understand what they're doing. There's a whole STEAM and robotics portion of it, so they learn some hands-on skill. We provide weekly unique field trips during summer enrichment that recently the Girls Who Game Club went to one of the colleges locally. It was the first time some of these kids had ever been to a college campus. I mean, they're 6th, 7th grade, but they had never seen something that big. And they went to UNC to kind of compete or observe the competitions that were happening. And so it's kind of an interesting thing, but I wanted to come and share.
Thank you.
Sure, absolutely.
And
Thanks
it's
so much.
it's good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
You're welcome anytime, Angie. All right. Is there anyone else that would like to make a public comment or has a report from a community organization? Yes, come forward. I'll start with the lady. Randy, if that's all right.
Good evening. My name is Cinnamon Hunter, and I'm a candidate for the Guilford County Clerk of Court position. I wanted to come and greet you all. I am a resident of High Point, a real estate agent, and a former educator. So I'm looking forward to serving you, and I just wanted to greet you this evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Randy, would you please approach the podium?
Good evening, Council, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Randy Floss. I'm here not only as a resident, but the president of Oak Ridge Plantation HOA. Bill and I have had
Could you state
several-
your address?
What's that?
Add your address.
Oh,
for
5914 Tarleton Drive, Oak Ridge, North Carolina.
Thank you.
Bill and I have had several conversations, and I know you're talking about doing some things, but I just wanted to share, because for us, it's been a process. The crosswalk has been great to have in front of our neighborhood, but if I go back 12 years ago, we basically, Bruce petitioned NCDOT, and we eliminated the passing zone. It used to be a passing zone, so when people would come from the school, they would blow past our entrance, and it used to be 50 miles an hour. So we got the passing zone eliminated. We also got the speed limit reduced. We pushed for it to go all the way down to Willard, the reduced speed limit, and we really pushed for 35. It didn't happen, but since then, we now have several things. We have the park. We have a lot of people that not only come from our neighborhood, I mentioned to Ann, they come from 12 Oaks, they walk through and around our neighborhood, and we have people that park in our neighborhood on the side of the road and walk across the street. I shared one idea if we didn't want to get into electrical at that location, and they have these at Friendly. It's where they have the lights around the crosswalk sign. And those lights are driven by sunlight, and they go 24/7. Anyway, just wanted to share as you guys try to figure out how to make those crosswalks safer.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
Any questions from the council? Okay, no, thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to take advantage of this time for public comments and community organizations? Okay, then we'll close that section up, and that tees off Mr. Bruce for town manager's report.
Thank you,
Bill?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The first item on my report tonight is a request to consider approval of appointment of Jim Kenneman as a tree board member.
Do we assume we need a motion for that? Anyone like to make a motion or discuss it first, or?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Clark?
No, I'm good.
Mike? Okay. Ms. Snyder? Okay. No discussion. Then, since there's been a motion and a second, I ask that everybody vote in favor by saying aye or nay if you are against it.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so congratulations, Jim. Welcome back to the tree board. Thanks.
The second item is a request to consider Resolution 2026-01 to request NCDOT to study and reduce the speed limit on Alcorn Road within the Oak Ridge town limits. And by way of background, you'll recall that during the public hearing of a residential rezoning request on Alcorn Road, both the applicant and several residents expressed concerns related to traffic safety along Alcorn Road, especially along the big curve where the new development was proposed. The developer of that particular property, Craig Fleming, consulted with DOT and has requested of the town council a concurrence to support NCDOT's analysis of the speed limit to determine whether a reduction from 45 to 35 miles per hour would be warranted. In my discussions with Mr. Fleming, it sounds like DOT was very much supportive of the analysis and found some components of that road that would support that speed limit reduction. And they're asking for a resolution from the town to support that analysis.
Do we have a motion to support this, this resolution?
I move that we approve Resolution R 2026-01 to request NCDOT to study and reduce the speed limit on Alcorn Road within the Oak Ridge town limits.
Is there a second?
Second?
Okay. Since you made the motion, do you want to
Yeah,
comment?
I voiced support for this. I know others did as well during the public hearing for the rezoning last month. I'm grateful to the developer and to NCDOT for moving this forward so quickly. It makes sense for everyone, those who live near there and the many people who drive and speed through there. We're hoping they'll slow it down a little bit. Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, I was going to say what Ann said, so I'll hold my comments. And since there's no further discussion, if not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
If not opposed, I was an aye. So I think 4-0. Okay, so Bill, back to you.
The third item is a request to approve the updated continuity of government plan contacts page, and that's simply to update based on the new composition of council, contact information should there be a need to, should there be an emergency in which council members and staff need to be contacted for continuity of government.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Right? There's a motion and a second. Would you like to have further discussion?
No?
All right, then, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, say no.
Aye.
Aye. So I think that's done, too. Is there any other business, Mr. Bruce?
I think.
Okay, so we're in new business. So number A is consideration approval of Heritage Farm Park Phase 2 design contract. I think all of us have been given background on that. previously. Bill, do you want to make some, present some ideas on that?
Sure, I can provide a little background on this request. At the September 4th, 2025 meeting, the Town Council instructed staff to issue a request for qualifications, or an RFQ, for design of Heritage Farm Park Phase 2, which was based on the master plan that was developed by McGill Associates and approved by Town Council. The process to procure architectural, engineering, and surveying services governed by state statute, which requires the local government to solicit qualifications as opposed to proposals. And then the first step being the town is to select the most qualified applicant or the most qualified firm. At that point, a fee can be negotiated, but only after the qualifications are decided. At the Parks and Rec Advisory Board in December, they reviewed I think it was November, reviewed 4 qualifications submitted. Revington Reeves, Ben Esch, Stewart, and Davis Martin Powell all submitted statements of qualification. After discussion, the Parks and Rec Advisory Board unanimously selected Revington Reeves as the most qualified firm, not only through the expertise demonstrated in their proposal, but also through their previous work with the town, designing and administering the construction of the Veterans Honor Green. And their fee proposal is attached to this memo for your consideration tonight. And it includes comprehensive survey, design, and construction-ready documentation for 8 lighted pickleball courts, 2 tennis courts, a basketball court, fitness stations, additional parking and sidewalks, as well as several shade structures. Their total fee is $133,974, which I will note is about $60,000 less than the estimate that we received for design work from McGill. So the action requested of council is to consider and approve the proposal from Revington Reeves for Heritage Farm Park Phase 2 design.
Do we have a motion to approve the Remington Reeves proposal?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, since you proposed, do you have any discussion, comments?
Yeah, this is just a part of the process of getting to the point where we can actually get a design, get costs. It's going to cost money to do this, but it always does. So folks have spoken loud and clear about the sports court, so this is the next step in the process.
Any other comments?
I would just say that not a surprise that Revington Reeves came forward with a very comprehensive approach to this. And I think, when you're talking about $133,000, even though it is $60,000 lower than the estimate we received from McGill, I think it's important to explain that there's a lot involved in the design and engineering for Phase 2. So they've put together a team of civil engineers, electrical engineers, land surveyors, and structural engineers, and they're going to provide us first with the schematic design that addresses the materials, the utilities, the grading, the lighting, the electricity, all the needs of the areas we want to develop, together with review meetings with the town. So a lot of this, the timeline is going to be up to us and with Guilford County. And then they'll create a full design and full construction documents for the whole site, addressing all of those areas, plus all the little details that you don't think about regarding hardscape, seating, trash cans, shelters, walls, fencing, everything else, plus all the required permitting. In other words, every detail that we need to be shovel-ready, and also they'll give us updated, much more specific cost estimates. And all of this would guide construction once the town is ready to move forward. And so when I looked at the full scope of work, I thought, wow, I understand why it was estimated higher, and I'm grateful to Revington Reeves for giving us such a tight budget on this and lower. But based on the excellent work they've done for us at the Veterans Honor Green, this proposal's worth every penny and more, since you can't put a price on integrity and commitment, the kind that they bring to every project they do. Thank you.
Lindsay?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, their proposal, I did appreciate that they did build in plenty of time, like Ann said, to take our time with this, meetings to have input from the council to make sure that we deliver what the town wants, so that we can see, what they propose. If we have any changes or concerns, I think that we'll have the opportunity to do that during the design phase, so I think that'll be good.
I don't have a comment, just a question. It did not include any horticultural design, for plantings and things like that in the proposal. I did not see that.
No, but I would imagine there would be an element of landscaping in the project. It's not specifically called out in the proposal.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to clarify.
Planting plan. Under deliverables, they will give us a planting plan.
Oh, okay,
And they've got a horticulturalist on their team.
okay, good. That was the question. Okay, well, we have a motion. Since we have a motion, if all are in favor, say aye. If not, say nay.
Aye.
It's 4. Zip. Okay. The next thing, Mr. Bruce, consideration approval of resolution R 2026-02.
This is a procedural resolution to announce the council's intent to hold a public hearing to close the public trail easement in the Ashford subdivision. This is required by statute that council would adopt this resolution, setting a date for the public hearing at the February meeting. I believe Mr. Thomas had a few words he wanted to say as well.
I only want to note that the resolution tonight as drafted is sufficient in referring to the trail easement in the Ashford subdivision because there's only one. For purposes of the legal advertisement and the final actions by this council, there will be a somewhat more particular description of the easement with reference to the recorded subdivision and the lots and general dimensions because it is an interest in land and the proposal is to vacate and close that interest in land. So I just wanted to note that. But for tonight's purposes and to initiate the procedure, the draft resolution is sufficient.
So is there a motion to approve or not resolution R 2026-02?
Make a motion that we approve Resolution R 2026-02 to hold a public hearing for the public trail of the Ashford subdivision.
Second?
Since you made the motion, do you want to continue with discussion?
Yeah, this is simply a housekeeping matter. This was set on the calendar about 18 months ago by Mr. Harton. We delayed any decisions for 18 months. This is just moving the agreed-upon process forward. It doesn't do anything other than give the citizens the opportunity to have input. This is just the intent for a public hearing. It doesn't do anything to the trail easement itself.
Any other comments?
I would say this isn't a housekeeping matter because I think it's unwise for this council to consider removing this public trail easement since it's in the public interest, which should always be our primary concern.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I'd just like to comment that this is, like Mike said, just kind of a decision to have a hearing, but not actually make a decision at this point, just to not hold up timeline.
Yeah, going back to what was roughly 2 years ago. Mr. Berger, welcome. Going back to 2 years ago, there was a proposal from Ashford asking for 10 years to try to find solutions for this particular easement. 10 years was far beyond the ability to commit the previous town council. And we agreed to extend that, hopefully based on progress being made on that. Obviously, I don't think that progress has occurred. I think some of us that had been recently put on council, which would mean Mr. Grease and Mr. Stone and I, felt that if progress were continuing to be made, we could, in this council, extend that period of time 2 more years for a total of 4. So we felt that that was a good strategy for the town council at that time. Unfortunately, no progress has been made, and so this resolution is there to address next month.
I'm sorry, I don't remember it quite that way, and I know that one of the reasons that progress hasn't been made by the MST committee is because we've had a lawsuit pending by Ms. Clark against the town, and it's been difficult for committee members to be sort of in the crosshairs of that. So their work was basically put on hold. I would be in favor of waiting a year or 2 more to give the committee time once the town defeats this lawsuit or Ms. Clark elects to drop the lawsuit so that we actually could move forward.
Okay. Any other comments? Stone.
Just from my chair, has nothing to do with a lawsuit, doesn't have anything to do with anything other than, as a council, we made a collective decision to move this process forward. No progress, as Mr. Harton has pointed out, has been made, so we should do what we said we were going to do and just go and move this forward. Again, doesn't do anything until we have 2 public hearings, so I'd like for us just to move this forward.
Any further comments? Okay. We have a motion. Is there any, if there's no further discussion, all in favor of the motion, say aye. Those
Aye.
opposed,
Aye.
say no.
Nay?
2-2.
Well, that doesn't carry,
Okay,
so the motion was not approved.
okay, so there we go.
So what's next step? We bring this up and put this back on the agenda when we have a council of 5? Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we continue Resolution R 2026-02 to the February meeting.
You can't continue something that we've just voted on, and I believe there's a hold in the rules of procedure when something has been voted down. I believe you can't just keep bringing it up. I'd like to refer to the rules of procedure. Does that make sense to you at all, Mr. Thomas? I'm sorry, what?
Consult them myself. I don't.
Can you get near your mic?
I said I'd have to consult the rules myself, the rules we adopted a couple of years ago. I don't recall the exact situation coming up before and how much of a delay a failed tie vote imposes on the ability of council to reconsider the matter. I would stand to be corrected or pointed out exactly what that is, because I can't recall.
So will you provide that information to us as soon as you can?
Councilmember Schneider may have that answer for.
I'm looking to reconsider. The council may vote to reconsider its action on a matter, provided the motion to reconsider is made at the same, to revive consideration. The council may vote to revive consideration of any substantive motion that has been deferred. Well, this hasn't been deferred. Okay, the council may vote to reconsider its action on a matter, provided the motion to reconsider is made at the same meeting during which the action to be reconsidered was taken and by a member who voted with the prevailing side.
Yeah, there's no prevailing side.
Yeah, there is. The side that prevailed is the side that voted nay.
Why?
Because you have to have a majority in favor for something to pass. I think we need to study this before we can put it back on the agenda. I don't want to be referring to the wrong part here. But it sounds like if it's appropriate, because there's
I think for purposes of tonight, the motion has been, the motion failed. But the issue of whether two council members can request it to be added to a subsequent agenda is the question
the
that needs to
open,
be answered.
yes.
So it doesn't need to be resolved right now.
So it was my recollection that it's not appropriate, like, once something gets voted down, you don't just keep getting to put it on the agenda again. But I'm not sure the section I read addressed that, so we should put it under advisement with the attorney.
I will circulate an opinion to the full council as soon as I can do that. Again, the motion was, did not prevail. It was effectively defeated by a tie vote, but I'm not at all sure it can't be brought back up by a majority of council. I will circulate an opinion on that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas.
Sorry, I don't have the answer right now.
Okay. Okay, so, Mr. Bruce, I think we're through with new business.
Sure.
Okay, so we are now to the monthly financial update for Mr. Anders.
Good evening, council. Yes, I had to tilt the mic down. And Chad is proof that there are tall CPAs and also tall folks from Oak Ridge. Everyone should have received a copy of the finance officer's report and the financial statements by email last night. On the activity, if you look at the financial statements, the compilation, we're holding steady with 2.12 million of current assets, liabilities, net assets, fund balance of 2.1 million, so only about a little less than 17,000 of liabilities. Behind this is your normal sheets for the different funds, showing budget to actual. Then the bank schedules and everything. I won't bore you with the details. They're all still in the same order as before. Debt is back there and fixed assets. Overall, fairly normal month for December. Revenues came in a little bit low, but I'm expecting with the payment on the property taxes by the 5th of the month. Some years people pay early, sometimes they pay later. This one looks like everybody's going to be doing the final payment late. As far as revenue sources, this is my data sheet that we get on the dashboard for the fire department, since the department and the town overlay each other. Ad valorem taxes, which is our property tax, 87% collected through December 31 for the year. Motor vehicle tax, 64%, and sales tax, 60%. Those are good indicators because motor vehicle is paid every month. It rotates around. So essentially, we're at 50% of the fiscal year, and we've had 60% of the budgeted collection. So there's an upward trend on that. The other thing is, 64% on motor vehicles. Sales tax is at 60%. So that's a good indicator that at least here locally, the sales tax right now is performing ahead of budget. Could be that that's a little bit of a Christmas bump for the month of December, but those numbers have been holding, reasonably well for this year. ACH wire transfer notification was received. The total property tax was $118,557.97. motor vehicle 9874, for a total of 128,356, and that's as of 12/31. Revenues, monthly sales and property tax, we received interest for December, franchise taxes, telecom, video programming, electric power, and pipe natural gas. We received those. We're still seeing the trends that we've been observing on those. When we have a colder winter, hotter summer, the electricity will be up. Colder winter, electricity and gas will both be up. I have heard several people complaining about their gas bills coming through the office, so I'm taking that as an indication of cold weather, and that franchise tax will be tracking accordingly. We've had HPC donations, town special event revenues, park revenues, and income into the Water Enterprise Fund. The investments at the depository banks, we're still monitoring those. Like everybody, we're watching the interest rates. We've had another drop in the prime. So, we're hopeful that we'll start, still be able to have some good revenues on the investments on the idle cash. On support of the staff, grant compliance, we're still working through. We're working with Bill. We're getting ready to make another request in on the ARPA monies for the water tank. CIP process, we're getting geared up for that. Bill, Sandra, and I are going to be meeting to start our end of that in preparation for that next month. Work on the water system. We're still working on that, of course, with the water lines, capital fund, the water tank capital fund, and just in general, the paperwork on that and working out some of the details. And the annual audit is completed, so that's a good indicator. I will be preparing, this is the reporting month. We have to do the collateralization report, the notification to the banks, which is done now through that same process, that we're actually a municipality and the banks need to, they have to annually be reminded of that fact so that it endorses all the legalities around dealing with municipal funds. And then the TR2, which is the reports we have to send down on valuations. 99% of that report is done by the county, and they're working on that now. So I'm expecting all of that, and we'll have all that filed by the end of the month. So overall, fairly normal to get ready for this year. Starting out, we do have the new year, and I'm sure everyone has gotten their notice of reevaluation. That's going to be coming out. I strongly advise everyone to read it and look at it and see what is on there. While the county has a very high percentage of accuracy on most of its tax stuff, anytime there's valuation issues, as you've heard me talk about with the motor vehicles, with the misallocation based on incorrect codings, they really worked hard on that, and we're seeing an extremely high accuracy, but with just a sheer volume, everybody just always look at that, including your property tax bills that you do get and your motor vehicle bill on your license renewal. But that's everything I've got.
Any questions for Sam? Sam, I have one. It has to do with, don't know what page is on, but it's near the back. It has to do with the Truist Heritage, where it has balance. And for example, where it has balance 25, 26, and we would owe approximately 2.4. Is that date, the anniversary date of the loan, or is that going to be an April 1st or May 1st date where it says balance, or is it?
Yes, sir, that should be a May 1st date.
Okay.
Because we pay it by the month, and then that is, the anniversary date is in the month of April. Actually 4/6, and I believe the trigger on most of the paperwork is 4/12.
Okay.
There was a few days differential in the loan, and they have to register that loan down at the LGC and record everything.
Okay. I just want to make sure it wasn't June or December.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Any further questions to Sam? All right.
We need a motion. I move that we approve the financial report as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Since their motion has been seconded, I ask that you vote aye if you agree with the motion, or nay if you don't.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Sam.
All right, thank y'all.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move that we amend the agenda to move public comments up before the committee reports, since I think we all noticed that Senator Phil Berger has come, and I thought maybe he'd like to say something. Is there a second? Would everyone agree with that?
If you agree, say aye.
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 No, okay. Thank you. Welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you, and I do appreciate that. I just wanted to stop by to just say hello, Happy New Year, but in addition to that, to point out that we'll be going back into session, the legislature, in the spring. If there are any local bills that council wants us to consider for the town of Oak Ridge, we certainly would be willing to hear what they are. In addition to that, I wanted to make sure that, and I think you do, that everyone on council knows that if there are issues with the interface with state government, that I and my office stand ready to try to assist with that. Obviously, it's something that dealing with the state sometimes is easy. But many times it presents all sorts of problems. I noticed one item on your agenda, and I hate that I didn't hear what the result was, but the reduction of the speed limit with DOT. If that's something that y'all passed, then I'm more than happy to have my office reach out to the local DOT folks and give them a little encouragement in terms of taking care of something
That
like
would
that.
be great. Thank you.
That would be appreciated.
Sure, those are the sorts of things that we can do. In addition to that, from time to time, we have an ability to direct some state resources to the local area, and we've been successful in doing that on behalf of the town of Oak Ridge and other local communities here in Guilford County. I hate that when I got here it was dark and I couldn't see the progress on the water tower, but certainly was pleased to be able to work on helping with that. I think it'll be a good thing for the town, and certainly the citizens will appreciate that. Beyond that, my office sends out a weekly email. If you're not already on the email distribution list, if you'll just send me an email, phil.berger@ncleg.gov, phil.berger@ncleg.gov. We'll get you on the list. Once you're on the list, if we send you something, you say, this is not worth my time, I want to be off the list, just tell us, we'll take you off the list. If you have a matter that you would like for us to highlight on behalf of the town of Oak Ridge in our email, we're more than happy to consider that if you'll just submit the information to us, and we'll take a look at it. My office in Raleigh, I have a number of members of my staff. Each of them specializes in a particular area, whether that area be Health and Human Services or local government or law enforcement or anything like that. So, or transportation, or you pick whatever state government is involved in. So I think if there is a question, we can generally get you an answer. We may not get you the answer that you want, but we certainly are willing to help try to get answers. And to the extent that we can work on issues, we're more than happy to do that. And again, just wanted Happy New Year. It's a pleasure to represent Oak Ridge and Guilford County, and happy to respond to any questions people have.
Do you have any questions or comments from council?
Thank you for being here, and Happy New Year to you.
Come have coffee with us again.
Yeah, I would say you're well aware of the things that this council faces, but we made good progress over the past several years. Water we're seeing, we will start seeing, I think, in the next few days, really. I looked at Mr. Bruce, but the water main coming from Forsyth County up to the Commons and down to the fire department should start in the next few days. So we'll have more construction in this town. And if you came through the intersection of 150 and 68, we have construction going on there for the for the next year or two. And I'd say the last and biggest thing is the continuation of trying to develop our park and our park plan. So they would, off the top of my head, they're the three top issues that I would share with you over coffee or whenever, phone call like we had before, at Light Up the Night. And but I appreciate you being here today.
Sure, and as far as phones are concerned, my cell number is 336-932-9899. If you don't have it, again, just let me know. I'm more than happy to share it with anyone. If you have questions, you want to give me a call. If I don't answer, leave me a message. I will get back to you. And again, pleasure to see y'all tonight.
Thank you.
It's good to see Michael Thomas. He and I sort of started practicing law about the same time. He looks like he's held up a little better than me.
Anyway, thank you for joining us
Sure,
tonight.
thank
sir.
you.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Since we shifted public comments, are there other public comments from those that are here tonight? If not, we'll wrap up. John.
Just one, please. John Browning, 8024 Linville Road, Oak Ridge. I've got an economics and business degree from NC State, definitely no legal degree, but, and I really don't know exactly with the Ashford subdivision what's going on there, but it strikes me as, I know there's a difference legally and ethically, but it seems like, and with all due respect to Ms. Clark, I'm looking forward to working with her on my committees, but with somebody that's so directly involved with issues with the town, what level of involvement should she have as far as voting on an area that concerns everybody, including her? So anyway, that's just my 2 cents for that. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Okay, any other public comments? Then we will wrap up item 13 and go back to item 12 with committee reports. Do we have anybody from Board of Adjustments?
They didn't meet.
I don't think they met. Mountains to See, I don't see.
They did not meet.
They did not meet. They were here last month, though. Conservation easement,
Didn't meet.
Bill. Special events, we welcome Patty. Happy New Year, Patty.
Patty Domchowski, 7320 Hidden View Drive. Veterans Honor Green. We just received actually our 21st order for pavers so that we can go ahead and try to place a 4th order for pavers. But going forward with the pavers now, we've kind of, I think, come to not an end, but they're coming in few and far between. So I think that we need to put in place an annual process for ordering the pavers so we can tell people what they can expect. Suggest that we collect the orders and send them in September and install them by Veterans Day in November. And I need to discuss this with Bill further to see his ideas and how he thinks we should handle this. Light Up the Night, our Light Up the Night event went well. The committee met in December, and we always discuss what went right and what went wrong so we can improve upon next year. One of the things that we'd like to change next year is to see if we can get a local landscaper or lights person to install our luminaries. It's getting really harder and harder to get volunteers to come out and install the luminaries. And don't take this the wrong way, but our committee members are getting a little bit older and are not as flexible that you have to stay down on the ground all the time to put the luminaries in. So we're going to see if we can get some, maybe some budget costs on this, and then we'll talk to Bill about that and council and see if this is something realistic that we can look at. I'm going to be meeting with Parks and Recs tomorrow to review our requests for their assistance with several of the tasks that we currently do. Ashley and Brock I'll be meeting with them. 9/11, I met with the Parks and Rec Advisory Board at their last meeting, and we did get their approval for our small 9/11 memorial. Again, it'll be in Oak Ridge Park, and at the flagpole. Additional items, last one, I will meet with Parks and Recs Advisory Board to get their approval for our 2026 special events calendar. We usually have to tell them ahead of time what's going to go on with the year. And the only additional thing that we have this year is that we would like to do a concert at the Amphitheater, 4th of July, for our 250th anniversary for the country. Questions, comments?
Thank you.
Happy New Year again.
I did have a quick question. As far as volunteers, have you all reached out to different organizations?
We do. We go to ORMA, we do to the Oak Ridge Youth Association, we go to the Garden Club, we go to the Women's Club,
The
we go
Lions
to the
Club.
Lions.
The Scouts.
The Scouts, we try to reach out if you have somebody else, but it's.
Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, like scouts or school
Yeah,
organizations or just,
the
yeah,
merchants,
younger.
we've gone out to, I think we've tried to reach everybody that we can out there. It's just, we even moved it to Saturday instead of a weekday this year, hoping we would get more people, and we really didn't, so.
Yeah, we've really explored every avenue, including lots of Facebook posts. And, I mean, we can still keep working on it, but I think
Sure.
it is
It is what it is.
getting really difficult.
Yeah.
So your proposal at this point is to have conversations with Bill?
With
and-
Bill, and to see realistically what a lighting company, a landscape, it's usually their off time, so we're hoping maybe they would be looking to do something at that particular point, so.
Sure, okay. Good idea. All right, thank you, Patty. Tree Board, I do not think met. Parks and Rec, do we have Mr. Browning?
Yes. Hello again, council. It's good to be with you tonight. John Browning, 8024 Linville Road, Oak Ridge. I did want to backtrack just a little bit to our tree board. We did not have a meeting, but thanks for appointing Jim Kinnaman to our board. He's been a regular visitor to our board from in times past, just as a citizen, has offered good input. So we look forward to working with Jim on the tree board. So now switching over to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, we did not have any agenda items, so we did not meet in December. But we certainly do appreciate and the fact you chose Revington Reeves for the design. They were our unanimous choice with that, so thanks for your choosing that company to lead us into the phase 2 of the farm park. Basically, I'm here to present the 2025 Farmhouse Community Center usage information. About a year ago, council voted for us to do a 6-month and 12-month usage update. So with all the delays, we have finally gotten 6 months under our belt. So we've had some good usage that we're excited about. So beginning June 1st, the Farmhouse Community Center opened for some soft openings. We didn't have any marketing. It's just kind of word of mouth referrals, but it opened June 1st for rentals. So I'm going to separate it into 2 time frames, June 1st to November 9th. We've had 7 rentals, 5 residents and 2 non-residents, 35 hours total of rental hours with an income of $940 to the town. Again, that's June 1st to November 9th. And then the Farmhouse Community Center was added to MyRec so people could look on the website and see what they were, what the farmhouse was all about. And they have pictures in there. And we have upped our marketing so people can see pictures of what it looks like when it's decorated and get a little bit more of a notice or just see how the farmhouse looks. So November 10th through December 31st, we've had 6 rentals, 4 residents, and then 1 non-resident, 27 total hours in those months, and then $460. So anyway, those are the 2 time frames that equal the 6 months. So we're excited. Happy with the rental so far, with really the lack of any good marketing. So Going forward, targeted marketing is planned once the parking lot issues are completely fixed, which we hope will be soon, with emphasis on senior hours. We can entice our senior citizens and future renters to enjoy the farmhouse. So that's all I have. And at your discretion, we could keep on with the 6 months, just give you update on the activity at the farmhouse. But again, we're excited going forward with some more marketing and to get that place up and going and be an important part of our park. Any questions or other comments?
Any comments, John?
Thank you.
Questions?
Thank y'all. Thanks.
Thank you, John. Personally, I think every 6-month review would be adequate. Okay, so the next is the Finance Committee that did not meet, but they will be meeting here shortly, starting the process. Water Advisory Committee did meet. Bill, do you want to, the council got a review from Spencer. Do you want to make some key comments about that?
I would just point out that the committee will be meeting on Wednesday at a different time. They're meeting at 10:30 on Wednesday morning to continue discussion over the community well amendment to consider reducing the community well threshold under certain circumstances, and also just some updated policies and procedures for our water rules, and to report on the great progress that's being made at the water tower. They're on schedule, had a meeting with the construction team this morning, and everything is progressing on schedule and within budget, so that's great news. And you had pointed out earlier that the water main construction began on Monday. You can see the utility locator folks all over town. They'll be starting with some work at the credit union here in the next week or so. They'll be working on some major under-road borings, and then starting in March, they'll be laying some pipe.
Okay, thank you. Just additions to that, this Saturday at 10:30, there's the second open house.
It was 10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock.
10 to 12.
10 o'clock here at Town Hall for the Water Committee to answer questions from the community. We did this, I believe, in December or early December. So this is our second attempt. The other thing is that Mr. Bruce and Spencer Sullivan and I will meet with Guilford County officials after the water meeting in the afternoon to talk about connection for Oak Ridge Elementary School. So I think a lot of things happening with water, and there's still a lot of work to be done by this committee. Historic Preservation Commission.
Courtney Harton, 5901 Pepper Road. I'll be giving Debbie's report tonight for HPC. She told me to say good evening. Happy New Year is me. HPC has not met recently, but we'd like to share the good news that we've sold 376 books and have marketing plans for the remaining 124 books in stock. I had to do math because she texted me that it was 376 now, not 375. We've had book signings and made sales at Lowe's Foods. Open sales are still in progress and are available here at Town Hall. The price of the book when purchased here is $25. Any questions?
Thank you.
No questions, thank you.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
Historic Oak Ridge. We forgot the title, Courtney.
It's also international. We have great reviews from Vancouver, Canada. I can tell you that. Planning and Zoning Board. Did they meet?
Didn't meet? No?
I don't.
I think they met.
I don't think so. Okay, so that's all the committee reports, public comments. So we're now to council comments.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, sir.
And I apologize, I should always have the council rules on me for these meetings, and I didn't tonight, but Bill Bruce provided me with his, so I had a chance to review the pertinent provisions regarding the earlier motion on the resolution regarding the trail easement. And there's a basic distinction here between procedural motions and substantive motions under the council's rules. And the procedural motion section specifies 15 procedural motions, which Councilwoman Schneider referred to one or two of them earlier. Those are for the purpose of doing your business within a meeting, hence procedural. The setting of the hearing on a resolution of intent to close a street, or in this case, the trail easement, is under the state statute. It's a requirement of the state statute to do that. That's a substantive motion. And the provision on substantive motions, which precedes the procedural motions, which is Rule 30, and in pertinent part says, once the council disposes of a substantive motion, it may not take up a motion that presents essentially the same issue at the same meeting, unless it first adopts a motion to reconsider pursuant to Rule 31, Motion 14, one of the procedural motions. Hence, you can't do it without that compliance tonight at this meeting, but it can be on another meeting agenda. If it complies with the agenda setting rules, which is request 7 or more days before the meeting to put it on an agenda under that rule. So that would be my opinion as to where that stands, given the 2-2 vote, which meant that the motion failed at this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Any other comments or questions to Mr. Thomas? Okay, so we're at council comments. I'll look first to Ms. Clark for her comments.
Sure. Thank you, everyone who came here tonight. I hope you all had a happy New Year and good holiday break. And that is all. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Stone.
Everybody notices that Mike Greason's not here tonight. He is under the weather, has been for a while now. Hopefully he's watching the meeting, sending him get well wishes from the town. Thank you.
Yeah, from all of us, Mike.
Yeah,
Okay, Ms. Snyder.
I meant to mention that earlier. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, we miss having him here. So Happy New Year to everyone who's here, everyone watching online. It was great to have the President Pro Tem of the Senate here briefly. I liked the reporting on the Farmhouse Community Center, and just want to emphasize that we've gotten some traction so far, but without any real marketing because of the situation we've been in. Wait, there was one more thing I wanted to say. Oh, a word about property taxes, because there's a lot of angst, and understandably, about the county's promised pretty substantial revaluation. The primary burden for reducing the effects of this reval should be on the county, which accounts for nearly 80% of your property taxes, compared to about less than 9% that comes to us here in Oak Ridge. My understanding is that several members of the Guilford County Board of Commissioners, possibly even a majority, are concerned enough about the negative effects of this revaluation to consider significantly lowering the county tax rate to absorb most of the increase. Please join me, I encourage everyone, to reach out to to all of the county commissioners to ask that they take this kind of path. There's plenty of room to trim fat at the county level as a means of undoing the worst effects of the coming revaluation. And please feel free to reach out to me to discuss tactics. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Then, for me, I would just like to make some general comments looking forward. It's hard to start by saying we have approximately 700 days of the term of this council, and there's several areas that we will need to put our attention and hopefully and uniformly make an impact. The first, of course, we've talked about with Senator Berger earlier. All you have to do is look behind the building to see the rising of the water tower behind Town Hall. But very soon, pipeline installations will begin along Highway 150 from the Forsyth County line up to the Commons, down to Linville Road to the fire department. This additional construction will compound the current traffic issues already being observed with the DOT expansions of the intersection at Highway 150 and Highway 68, and the two planned traffic circles on the same roads. So we will continue to ask staff to keep everyone advised about changing traffic patterns and issues, but we ask you as citizens to adapt to these projects by first slowing down, observing, and adapting to the changing conditions. I think all of our drivers, and whether they're from Oak Ridge or coming through Oak Ridge, could help by just being a little slower and recognizing that the traffic conditions are changing. Another area that's going to require council's attention is the planning for the Heritage Farm Park Phase 2. At this time, I don't think that anyone on council is opposed to adding tennis, basketball, and pickleball courts and needed parking to accommodate these amenities. The issue is how and when the town can afford the estimated $1.8 million needed for this investment while continuing to pay down the current load of around $2.4 million that's already exists for Phase 1 that I mentioned with Mr. Andrews earlier. I have asked the Finance Committee to pay close attention to this as they go through their process and provide guidance to this council during our CIP process. Last, as a short-term issue, I have asked council to review the town strategic plan. I looked at this in December. The plan was initiated, to my understanding, in 2018 and updated in 2023. But if you read it, you can see that it is already in many areas out of date, mostly due to the immense progress made over the past few years on projects that are already in place or are currently being implemented and will soon be completed. On a longer-term basis, I think that the council, and Mr. Stone and I discussed this the other day at the briefing, or after the briefing, I think council will need to look at things outside of Oak Ridge that impact our town, such as the rapid development of the aviation industry south of us, or at the airport, or the potential for rapid development north of us in Stokesdale. Also, I think we will need to develop an improved strategy on how the town can impact on these kind of issues that occur outside of Oak Ridge. So they're the key areas that I hope council will impact in 2026 and maybe 2027. Certainly there are others, but many of those projects are either winding down or similar in scope. So I look forward to working with this council, our wonderful staff, and the many effective committees on these many issues. Thank you very much. Okay, any further comments? All right, it looks like we're at the end. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.